Alrighty. So, hi there everybody on Facebook. It's Kamal here, and I thought I would do a very quick live. I'm just going to shut this door. Let me pop. Okay. Hopefully I'm coming out live and people are going to join. I thought I would do a quick live with the puppy to show a little exercise that I do with my dogs, which he's kind of offering, which will help those of you that have dogs that are a little bit shy or concerned or reactive or aggressive, etc., taking them into public spaces. Hopefully I'm coming out live and you can hear me. I'm on my phone and the camera's flipped, so hence why the wording is back to front. I was going to train the dogs. The weather's awful. It certainly is down here, and I thought I would... let's have a look. Can you hear me okay? Excellent. So some people are joining. Okay, cool. So I thought, you know what? I'll do a session in the living room. Good boy. To show you what you can be done in small spaces. Obviously, a lot of people are very limited about where they train. And certainly this time of the year, there is that reluctance to go out and train. As you saw me on Instagram, I was covered in mud training my dogs. So I thought I'd do a session. I'd cop out today and do a session indoors. So this is Reset. Good boy. Hit it. He is now coming up a year. He's one of my 3 puppies that I'm training, and currently my course, The Jungle Book, which is, I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. He's on that where I'm showing, rearing him, bringing him up, and the various skills. So he was a puppy that I bred that actually came back to me when he was, I think, about 5 months old now. The time frame all merged into one last year. So I'm just going to do a little exercise. I thought I'd do a little 5-minute training session. I thought, you know what, I'll do it live. So the exercise I'm going to teach is, it's called a waiting room sit, but obedience people will also see that it's the beginning of teaching my dog to do a present or front, where their dog comes, races and sits in front of you. Now, the reason it's also called a waiting room sit is because if you go into a situation where your dog is apprehensive, fearful, concerned, it's a great way to make them feel safe and secure. So it's an exercise that I used to teach with my domestic clients in my puppy classes, and I still do with my puppy classes, you know, when I do my online training. Good boy. To make your dog feel comfortable. But as I say, it's a little bit of a hidden agenda. It's also the foundation element for an obedience exercise. So the exercise, Reset's going to demonstrate the finished product, and I'm going to then talk you through how to train it. So if I was to sit like this, yeah, good. He should come and sit in between me. I'm going to change the orientation of my chair so that you can see. I'm just training in the living room. So bear with me. That's good. I'm going to do it at a slight angle here. So if I was to sit like that, yep, good. He should come and sit in between my legs. Now, if I was in, for example, the vets or public space, I would want my dog focusing on me and not looking externally. So I can have my hand in his collar, I can have some treats, and I can distract him from looking externally. Good boy. Yeah, good. Get it away. Good. Good boy. So it means then, thank you. Good boy. It means then that I don't have to manage him looking at other dogs, getting really super excited and aroused and overstimulated, which obviously if he's in, good boy, if he's in somewhere like the vet, could be problematic. It could cause more stress. So, very simple exercise. It's also the foundation of teaching an obedience present, where we eventually stand up. I'm going to show you that in a second. And have our dogs race in between our legs and sit in front of us, or sit in front of us. So, how you start that off is, okay, get some food, good boy, is you need to have a chair that you, with no armrests, and you can sit, come right here, Bob, good man, good boy, that you can sit at the edge of the chair. So if you note there, I'm going to bring this forward, okay, I'm sitting right at the edge of the chair as if I'm about to come off the chair, and my feet are initially outstretched. Now the distance between my feet should be the size of my dog's back end, okay? Depending on the dog that you have. Wait a minute, I know. Good boy. The weight, depending on the dog that you have, it would dictate how big the gap is. I'm going to change the angle in a second. So the distance between my feet should be the size of his bum. And initially, my shins are at 45 degrees to my thighs. The reason being I'm effectively creating a chute, okay? And all I'm doing initially is getting the dog to just come in between that gap, all right? So you can see there, Reset's really comfortable with coming in between my feet. Once my dog is making contact, how I would reward them is actually luring the dog underneath my legs. Okay, I put that on cue. Okay, so my cue is under. Yep, good. So the dog goes under my legs and he'll revert back into that gap. I bring him under the alternate leg, good boy, and bring him back. So the dog will do a little repertoire of going under, back into between my legs, under, good boy, back in between my legs, okay? That's the first stage. So I want to get my dog comfortable with just being close to and interacting in my personal space. I'm going to edge this a bit backwards, okay? So I'm training in a very small space. One, because that's the space I've got. Two, it's something that anybody can do in their living room. And as I say, there's so many exercises that you can train in your front room, in very limited space, which are going to be really, really helpful for when you go out into the big wide world, okay? So feet outstretched, 45 degrees. Distance should be the size of my dog's bum. So I'm going to change the angle and do it towards you guys. Okay, move my chair. So you can see there, my shins are still at 45 degrees. My feet are, and you note my odd socks, purple and blue, are the size of my dog's back end, or just a little bit bigger, okay? So I'm gonna lure him to one side. He's gonna come in that gap. He's gonna get rewarded. Now I would be clicking him normally, good boy, for just coming in and making contact with his shoulders on my legs, but because I'm talking to you guys, I'm being a bit slack with my click. So I'm gonna just train my dog for a second. Okay, under, good. He comes back in, yep, good. Now he's offered me to SIT, under, yep, good, okay? Your dog might not do that, okay? Your dog might be reluctant and stand off you. Really good toy. Good. So breaking out with some play, really, really key. Get some more food. Thank you. Good. All right. So I'm going to again get him to come in between that gap. Yep. Good. So another way which you can get them to sit in that position is to use a little platform to get them to sit on that. If you go back to some of my videos that I posted on Facebook, you'll see me shaping that behaviour. That's a great way to put the two things together. If you're just using this from a domestic point of view, it's absolutely fine if you shape the dog to, good boy, good, he won't do that. Good boy, he says, I've never done that one before, ready, good, yay, good, that's a good one, you're doing that trick, good boy, good. So I can, good, he says, what are you doing? Good. I can shape him into a down in this position or lure him into a down, and the same principle applies. My preference with my dogs is to have them do a sit because I can hold their collar and keep an element of control, especially if I'm in a situation where they might be concerned or it's a really small environment. As I say, the waiting room at a vet is a classic place where you want to create that focus, okay? So I would start, once my dog is comfortable with that, I'm then going to position my hands, and I'm going to again change my orientation, my seat back. Let's do it this way. So, good boy. Whether my hands are slightly above his nose, and you can see there, that's going to hopefully cajole him into a sit, and I want him to bring his back end in, okay? So I'm going to get him to do a couple of those. The angle's a bit tight there, isn't it? A bit tight even there. That's better. Good. So he comes in, I feed him with my hands nice and high. Ooh, good boy. Under. Yay, good. Okay, he goes back under and he sits in that position. Good. So I'm now asking, okay, get the toy. Good. Really good toy. Good. I'm asking for that little bit more where the dog will sit in that position. Good. Whoa, thank you. Good. Good boy. Well done. So I'm going to progress that by having my feet now, for an obedience dog, if I wanted to teach this for a formal present, I'm starting to shuffle my feet in so that my feet are now at 90 degrees. So my shins are at 90 degrees to my thighs, okay? So now the dog has to sit a little bit tighter in that space. Good, yeah, good. Now, depending if this was an obedience dog, would dictate how far in I had him, and you would position your hands accordingly. So if you want the dog to be more upright, you'd position your hands above your knees. If you wanted the dog to come more tight to you, you'd have your hands a bit closer to your body. Again, that's personal preference, but for me, I like my dogs to sit quite upright, so I position my hands above their knees. And what I'm looking for is, let me just get a little stretch. Good. Good. Let's try again. So I want him to just stretch his head up a little bit. Good. Yep. Good. And I'm going to feed him for just reaching up. That's a little detail for an obedience dog. One of the things that I've taught Reset, as opposed to your domestic dog. With your domestic dog, pop, pop, come here, mate. Good boy. I would just have them sit here and being able to handle their collar. Come here. He says, I want my toy. Good. So I'd have them collar grab them and just remain with the dog focused and intermittently feeding them to again prevent them getting stressed or concerned. Once I've got my dog understanding, come over this side baby so they can see. Once I've got my dog understanding to sit in between my feet at 45 degrees, I'm going to shuffle my feet in and have the dog sit much more upright. Once the dog is comfortable at that stage, I'm then going to progress to doing it on either a higher stool, or if I had a chair with some arms, you could use that. As I say, initially, I wouldn't use arms when I'm at this stage, just because it means that you can be hindered about where you position yourself. But you can certainly use an armrest to sit on, or alternatively, which is what I'm going to progress to, is doing it leaning up against the wall. So I'm going to show you that one, okay? Good, let's just move this aside. So again, all training in small spaces. Good boy. Hip up. Good boy, good. Right there. Good. So I'm going to just put it in there for a second. Oh, hang on. Up, pop it up. Wait there. Good. Position that. Excuse you. I have to do something up there. Good boy, nice. Good. So that's good. That. Good boy. Okay. Good. So I'm just adjust the carpet so he has a bit of traction. And I'm going to do the same thing again, leaning up against the wall. Make sure that the sign is behind me. So I'm going to again lean up against the wall. So if, again, from an angle, if you were looking at this side on, I'm actually slightly squatted against the wall. So again, to create that chute for the dog to come in. So I'm going to start with my hands again positioned in the same space. So off my body in the case with reset. Good boy, ready? So he's going to come into that position and I'm going to feed him. Good boy. And then I'm going to draw him under. Yay, good boy. So I retreat out. So I can now have him move into that position. Yep. Oh, that was a crappy one. You got me on that one. That's better. Okay, under. Good. Good. So it's not quite straight. I'm going to see if he re-offers. Yep. Good. Again. And I can break him off and get the tug. Have a game with him in between. Let's do it again. That was a bit sloppy. Thank you. Good. Let's do it a bit again. So you can see I've got food off to the side. My dogs are trained not to take the food if it's placed away from me, and it's a good way to introduce remote reinforcement. Another great lesson for a young dog to learn. So again, bringing him in. Yep. Good. Under. Get it. Good. Yep. Good. Feeding. Lowering him under. Get it. Throwing it off. So he's sloppy there. I'm going to see if he just works out. Yay. Yep. Good. Get it. To adjust himself and reposition. Once the dog understands that, I can progressively get taller and upright against the wall. So really, really simple way to teach a present or a front for IGP, obedience, for retrieves, etc. Good! And also a great thing to teach your dog domestically. Now, if your dog will pick up an article, so I'm going to see if I can do that pen. Thank you. So I'm going to just use this pen. Okay, I can actually now process, oh, hang on, that hasn't got a lid on it. Let's not use that, let's use this. Okay, random item. So I'm gonna, actually, have I got something I can use? Oh, this will do. Okay, so I'm gonna just remind him of his retrieve, and then I'm gonna show you how quickly I can put the two things together. Okay, so I'm gonna just shape him, picking this up. Yep, good. Let's get some clicks for that. Oh, ready? Yep, good. So he's happily picking that up. Okay, I'm gonna offer it from my hand. Oh, try again. Ready? Yep, good. Okay, I'm just proofing with a toy. Ready, ready. Oh, hang on. Ooh. Ah. Good. So just do it right here a bit. Good boy. Good. Yep. Nice. So he's understanding that. Let's do one more. Thank you. Good. Ready. Yep. Good. Get that ball. Get that tugger. Good. Do one more. Thank you. Good. Ready. Whoa. Yep. Good. So he understands, don't let go of it. Again, training in small spaces, using the space that I can, keeping him on the mat. Thank you. Now I'm going to string the two things together. So I've done a little bit of this with him, just to show you how quickly they can put the two exercises together. I'm going to go back to my chair. Okay. Good boy. And I'm going to just remind him quickly. Good boy. Super. Okay. So I'm going to do some warm-ups. I'm going to change the orientation so you guys can see. There we go. That's better. Okay, but yeah. Offer the article. Dropped it. Let's try again. Good. Ready. Yep. Good. So I'm going to click him, even though if you backed out. I just want to put the two things together. Hang on. Okay, this one, let's get organised. Yay, good boy. Okay. Okay, so you dropped it. We're just going to try again. Good. Don't like that hold, so I'm going to start again. Good, super. So I'm not really worrying about the accuracy of the present. I'm going to slacken off and just get him to hold it in the present. You got it, boy. Okay. Good. So I've done some clicks for that. Ready? Do it with a toy now. Yay. Good. Nice. Good. So playing with him in that position. Good. Thank you. So now I'm going to try and see if he will. Good. So he stepped that tiny bit. So I'm just breaking it down for him. Good boy. Thank you. Ready? Hang on. Ready? Okay. Good. Good. So he stepped into that position. Funny article. He's not held that before. So thank you. Good. Let's do it again. Get it. Good. Nice. So a little bit more now because he's just hesitating. A little bit more space. Thank you, pup. Good. Okay. I'm going to help him a bit. Yay! Get it. Good. So I didn't click it because I had to help him. Well done. Good. Thank you. Okay. Yep. Get it. Nice. Good effort. Thinking about it. Good boy. You working it out? Yeah. Good. That was good. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you got it. Let's try again. So it's not a problem if he makes an error. We just go back. Whoosh. Ready? Okay. Let's try again. Okay. Go back and help him a little bit. So click the pickup. Oh, I'm confused. Good. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it again. Ready? Yep. Good. That's it. Good boy. Just breaking it down. Good boy. Again. Thank you. Actually, that toy's a bit awkward, isn't it? Let's change this one. Ready. Okay. What am I supposed to do? I ain't got a clue why. Ready. Fetch. Oh, so you're getting confused. Really typical of young dogs. They get confused of putting the two things together. Change the article. Break it down for them. Ready. Fetch. Yep. Good. Super. So I have actually put this on a cue. So normally I'd let them off, but because I put it on a cue on another article, just to help him out, I'm going to do that. Thank you. Fetch. Yep. Good. Super. Do some clicks for that. Break it down again. Pop. Yay. Ready. Fetch. Yep. Good. That's it. Well done. That was clever. So again, motivating him, even though I'm in small space, making sure that he's motivated. Thank you. Let's switch back to food. Ready. Okay, fetch. Let him work it out now. You lost it. Is that hurting your brain? Is that hurting your brain? Ready. Yep. Good. Super. Good. Let's break it down again. Where's he gone? Ready. Pop. Ready. Good. Ready. Yep. Good. Feed you in position. Come here. That it. Good. Ready. Fetch. Yep. Good. Super. Good. Hang on. Yep. Super. Get it. Nice. Fine. play. Get it. Good. Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Wah-ha-ha-ha. Thank you. Let's do one more. You can do it. Ready? Reach out, reach out. Oh, ready. Okay. Boop. Nice. Nicely worked through. Good boy. Super. Good. So you can see there by making it slightly easier for him, breaking it down, I can get him to, good boy, that was really good. Oh, that was a hard one for you. Good. So I can break it down for him, I can make it into bite-sized pieces for him to be successful. I can go back a couple of stages. Okay, that'll do. Good boy. And I can help him be successful, which is what good dog training should be. Come here, pup. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. So from my basic chair present, I can get the dog to do that as a separate exercise and then glue the two things together. So my chair present or waiting room sit, great skill to teach your puppies if you're doing obedience and great way to teach it. If you've got a domestic dog that lacks confidence, it's a great thing to do with them to, good boy, to take into environments where they might find it challenging. All right, so I'm gonna stop this live, put him out, give him a drink because it's quite warm in here, and I'll come back. And if you have any questions, I'll pick them up. Good boy. All right, that was good. Ready? Get up, Ollie. Good. Well done. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get your tie. Get your tie. Get your tie. Thank you. Good. All right, I'll be with you shortly, and you can do questions. Good boy. It was good. Well done, Finker.